How to get the most out of your bulking phase. So, not my usual location today, boys, and I think there is a hurricane inbound. So, hopefully, we get this video out in time before the power goes out and we get another one for tomorrow. If you don't hear from me for tomorrow, you know I post daily, there'll be a reason for that. Will there be two videos the day after? You can bet your bottom dollar there will be. So, we're going to discuss today how to get the most out of your gaining phase. I've been gaining since February, 75 kg, now sat 88.5 in September. And I've done a gaining phase before where I went 73 up to 88, and it was okay, but I was soft, real soft, and a lot smaller than I am now, which I then did cut down to 75 like this. Nice, okay, but honestly, you need to go through that gaining phase once, twice, and turn yourself into a thicker human being, because at the end of the day, you want to look masculine, you want to look strong, and to do so, you just need to go through that bulking phase. It's nice to have abs, of course it is. It's nice to have like striations in the chest, but ultimately, if you're 75 kg, I'm 5'8", 173 centimeters, need to add more tissue to the frame. A jawline's nice, that stuff can come after, but you must delay the gratification, bulk as hard, fast, and aggressively as you possibly can, and your future self will not regret it. So, the first thing we want to do to get the most out of your bulk is ultimately start in lean first. The reason I say that is, if I've added 13.5 kg with 10% body fat here, now we're probably sat, I mean, you can see the outline of the abs. It doesn't really help that I've got my hands over it. I should have thought about that before I put this picture up, but whatever. We're probably set 17, 18%. Now, if I'd have started at 15% and put 13 kg, I'm in my mid-20s. At that point, I'm going to struggle to really get the most out of the gaining phase, am I? Because in my head, if you've always been someone that's lean, which majority of you that are into the gym probably have been, you will struggle mentally as you get softer and softer and softer and further away from the athletic build that you know and your identity is held to. So I would say start lean first, because at that point, when you start to add more fuel to the fire, your training goes up, you still look lean, you look fuller, and you've got a long headway from 10 all the way up to 20% body fat until you need to peel back the body fat and then diet down again. The next thing I would say is the bulk, the muscle is built in the gym. Don't ever get that wrong. You need a calorie surplus. Of course you need a calorie surplus, but the calorie surplus is there to support the growth in the gym. The calorie surplus will not build you muscle by itself. So you can bulk. If you don't train hard enough, you simply will not grow tissue. Watch the video I made on are you training hard enough to know if you actually are. But to summarize that in one sentence, what's the speed of your last repetition of your set? If it's 3 to 4 seconds, you're on the money. If it's 1 to 2, you could go a lot more. And I'll tell you now, that muscle doesn't really want to fucking grow, so you have to force it to grow. You have to force that muscle to grow, and the only way you can do that is make it do something it never did before. So I'll tell you now, the gaining phase, the sessions are taxing, the sessions are hard. You should finish it, you should be fucked after every session, because you've gone in there in a warlike scenario to attack and to break things down so they build back stronger and thicker. And if you don't do that, you will simply not grow as much as you wanted to. But if you do that, you're going to maximize it and you're going to grow like a fucking garden weed, and that is what it's all about. The next thing I would say on that then, you do need a calorie surplus to support that. So food is there to support gym floor performance. So make sure you are in the surplus so you can continue progressing those numbers week in, week out. Because if you're going to do that, then you're going to see the growth. Now you need to be selective with your food. I'm eating 5,000 calories a day. It's not that fun. My appetite's quite good right now, so I can stomach it, sure. But you want to be careful with what foods you use. Foods want to be fairly high on the GI scale because they will digest quicker. Now, I'm not telling you to go and eat garbage. I don't eat garbage, boys. I really don't. But you need to be selective with what foods you're eating on the higher GI. Things like dates are very good, high carb, but there are still a fair bit to chew through. Your morning oats will pack out the diet, a little bit lower on the GI, but again, we'll add it up. And the way you make those oats, as a side note, and take this for most foods, if you make them and swell them up, there's more volume to eat. You want lower volume, therefore you can eat more of it. It's the same opposite in a dieting phase. You want high fibrous diet because that will pack out the diet and fill you up a lot more. So the calorie surplus is there to support the feeding. I've done diet videos on what you should eat for that, but just take it from me. Eat a lot of food, but enough to support that gym floor performance. If your numbers are climbing in the gym, you're eating the right amount of food. If your scale weight's increasing 0.3 to 0.6 a week, you're eating the right amount of food. Don't get trigger happy because you'll get too fat too quick, and then you'll start to pull it back a little bit. You just want to keep supporting the progression in the gym week in, week out. And when you do so, you're going to see good results. The next point I would say is You need to play the long game. So I'm set 88.5. I'm going to push for another 3 weeks. Then we might run a defeed week. But then after that, so I want to be sat around 90 at this point. After the defeed or maybe a little cleanup, I'm going to go again and try and push into the mid 90s. And that'll be best part of a 20 kg. As a natural lifter, that's a big boy bulk done. When I shed back down off the back of that, that'll be a significant increase. You're going to bulk anyway. You've got to eat a lot of food anyway. You may as well just think, right, make peace with it. This is going to be a long, long game. I'm going to delay the gratification now so that in the future, when I do cut back down, when I peel back the wrapping paper of this present, it's going to look fucking exceptional. Because if you half bulk and if you don't bulk for long enough, you're never really going to see improvements. But you don't also look how you wanted to look when you were lean anyway. So like, if you've not got abs because you're bulking, just fully embrace that and absolutely send it to the highest amount. You want to try and accumulate best part of 20 kilos over the course of a bulk. That'd be a beautiful bulk. Now, I'll be bulking for a full year straight at this rate here, maybe with a little defeed, but 100% this is going to go all the way on until next February. And then cut down again. That's a long time to be shutting a lot of food in, to be tracking food daily, to still be progressing in the gym, like, you know, taking each session as war and moving further away from like how I like to look in my midsection. I like to look sharp. I've always looked sharp. It's just like part of my identity. But if you look soft in the midsection, it's not a good look and it's not a good feel, boys. But it's one of those, you're just going to have to make peace with it and play the long game for this. So when you do cut back down, you're going to look unrecognizable. And that's what this is really all about. So the last thing I would say is, and this is the secret weapon, and if you can do it, you can do it. If you can't, make time to do it. Sleep an extra hour. Get that extra hour every night. I guarantee you, you will grow like a weed. If you cut it and you get 7.5 hours versus 9, a full sleep cycle difference, I'll tell you now, that is a big, big difference. The only way I was able to grow so well is just the fact I push sleep night after night after night after night. Because I'm telling you to dig that crater really deep and hard in the gym. If you're not then repairing that, you're just going to continuously dig yourself into the hole, and you're never going to harvest the gains that you put in that session. So if you're not harvesting the gains, what's the point anyway? Training really fucking hard, sweating out, fatigue is high, CNS is fried, and you're not then recovering from that and repairing what you've just done. You're not cashing in the gains. It's like doing all the work and not getting paid for it at the end. It's fucking pointless. You have to match whatever you do in the gym, you match it with sleep and recovery. And if you need 2 days rest, sometimes you need 2 days rest. And this is why I don't train 5 days straight or even 6 days straight like I used to. It's 3 days straight, 1 day rest, 2 days straight, another day rest, 5 sessions across the 7 days. And that way I can continuously recover from what I'm doing. If you think you need more, it's because you're not training hard enough. If you think you need more than like 15 sets for your main muscle group to grow per week, you're not training hard enough. It literally is that simple. Because if you can do a lot, look at the barrier here. The barrier here to new muscle is here. A lot of people train in and around here for a long time and often never breach through. Therefore, never get new tissue. But this is still hard. This is still effort. Your best bet is to channel that effort and to fucking send it through the roof past the point of no return. You needed to go and secure that tissue. Summarize this video. Train hard, make the muscle do something it's never done before. Support it with food, but don't get trigger happy with food. Gain 0.3 to 0.6 of a kg per week. Sleep to repair whatever it is you've done in the gym. Play the long game. You're going to be doing this for a while, but at the end of the day, you bulked because you wanted to be a thicker, masculine man, and that shit's not built overnight. And to be honest, the attributes and the character traits that you have to go to, the man you need to become, that's what this is really all about, boys. It's about the discipline of eating every day, staying on plan. It's about the discipline of training really hard in the fucking gym, day in, day out. It's about the resilience. If you fell off, you went on holiday, but you get straight back to it. It's about the man you need to become, and that way you will have the physique as a byproduct of it, and people will respect you for it. The physique is a resemblance of who you are as a human being. And always remember that. I feel like people get focused on how to get six-pack abs, how to get 14-inch biceps. I mean, that's fucking small, but you know what I mean. People, they focus on the tactic, they focus on like the how-to quick, and it's smelly. I'm not going to tell you like quickest way to build muscle fast. No. I'm just telling you how to get the maximum amount of your gaining phase, which you're doing anyway. Don't look for things quick. If things came quick, you won't value them anyway. Like, let's be honest. Think of the last girl you slept with on one night. You don't respect her the same way you had to go date someone 3 times over and invest even more time and resources into it. Like, let's be honest. So it's the same for building muscle. Don't try and quickly gain loads of muscle for some superficial reason. Make this part of who you are, make the journey part of who you are, and you can have the physique as a byproduct, boys. So that's my 2 cents on how to gain the most out of your bulking phase. If you found it useful, great, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow if the fucking heavens and Mother Nature say it will.